Good day, my brothers and sisters, children of the light. Today I want to talk to you about something very interesting in the book of Joshua. Now, as you remember from your own Bible study, Joshua led the nation of Israel over the Jordan into the promised land. The first city they needed to attack was the city of Jericho. Now, Jericho was huge, big walls, high walls, strong walls. Some ancient writings say that Jericho's walls were so big that you could drive two horse carriages next to each other on the walls. They were huge, unbreachable for Israel's army. Now what the wonderful thing is, when it was unbreachable for Israel's army, God stepped in with a miracle. And that's a wonderful message for you and me as children of the living God. When you have walls in your life that you can't breach, obstacles that you can't breach, you are due and scheduled for a miracle. Remember that. Write it down. Claim it. Pray it. Declare it over your lives. If there's unsurmountable walls in your life, you are due for God's miracle. Coming back to the story of Joshua, God said to him that the covenant box, and this is an important point, in front of the covenant box would be a front guard of soldiers, plus the covenant box, priest with shofars carrying the box and priest with shofars around. And then the army of Israel will walk around Jericho once for 6 days. And on the seventh day, they will walk around 7 times. And after the 7th time around, they will blow the shofars, the ram's horns, and shout in victory. And the walls would crumble. The insurmountable object will divinely be defeated. Now, except, of course, the parts where Rahab lived, and go to my teaching on Rahab to get more information. But what's interesting is that there needed to be a front guard in front of the covenant box. Now, the covenant box represented God's presence in Israel. I'll still do more teachings about God's covenant box. It's so beautiful and so symbolic and so powerful. But why would God said in Joshua that there need to be soldiers in front of the covenant box? A front guard. Guys with spears and shields. God is almighty. He doesn't need humans to protect his property. He just a few days later, he had the whole of Jericho's walls, insurmountable walls, just crumble into dust. Why would he need soldiers to protect his covenant box? Doesn't make sense. So there's a deeper message here. God can protect his own. There's a deeper message here, that the covenant box, the spiritual, needed to work together with the secular, the soldiers. And so also in churches and in our Christian communities, the spiritual and the secular must work symbiotically together. And by that, I by no means trying to say that the spiritual, the religious, must ever compromise to keep the secular happy. Never. We never compromise on godly principles. What I am saying is that the two need to work together for the spiritual to achieve its optimum effect. Now, even in a church, let me use this example. A minister can't preach if there's not church, it's chairs packed out for the congregation, and the aircon on a hot day, especially where I live in Africa, the aircon or the fans are not working. People will get so hot and bothered they won't listen. You need to have the microphone working. You need the worship team, and they need the electric cords in place and everything in place for their instruments to work. The Sunday school teacher needs the classrooms and the air conditioning and all the secular materials she uses in her or his teaching. So the spiritual need the assistance of the secular. And therefore I want to encourage you, where you live, get involved in your church, whatever your talents are. Get involved with your time, your talents, because the reverend in front, the Sunday school teachers, the worship team, those who do the primary spiritual work, need your assistance on a secular level, with all the other factors that must come together. And even if you're not involved in the church or in the community, at a local Christian school, Christian old age home, any Christian institution in your area, get involved with your time, your talents, and if possible, your money as well. It's needed. Because as God said, there must be a front guard in front of my covenant box. And he didn't need that front guard. He's almighty. He could swipe anything or anyone out of the way that threatened his symbol, his covenant box with Israel. But there was a lesson. The army and the covenant box had to work together for victory. And so be encouraged that even if you don't have a spiritual role in your church or your community, that your secular role can be crucial and so important to have spiritual effect and spiritual blessing in your community. We must work together. So in the Church of God, the Christian schools, the Christian old age home, the Christian orphanages, all Christians institutions can flourish with the help and assistance of everybody involved. Be encouraged. Get involved. Amen and amen. Please visit my site on a weekly basis for new teachings. Please contribute. If at all possible, there's a place on the website to do it. And it's my honest benediction for you that the one true living God, the Holy Trinity, will richly bless you.